What's good with y'all, man? My name is Tej, and in this video I'm going to be showing y'all how to make a melodic piano and guitar beat for Lil Durk. I made this beat from scratch with the help of my friend Xave. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description and a link to a collab video that we did recently on his channel, so be sure to go show some love and check it out. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to hit subscribe, and if you want to know the latest on what I'm working on, including these videos, be sure to go follow me on Instagram at beatsbytej. And I'm not going to say too much more, so I'm going to hand this over to Xave, and he's going to break down the starter real quick.
Alright, so first I went in, I did in C# minor. Basically what it was just a simple 1, 5, and 6. And then I didn't want to just have it as plain triads, so I just added some 7ths. And then what I did was in the chord progression, just chop it up so that it could resolve to each chord nicely. So just like this. Just keep it revolving and keep the momentum going. And that's the chord progression. And then this is what top line sounds like by itself. All I did for the top line was just improvise with the pentatonic scale. And then what I did for this right here was just copy the C# minor chord, just put it up 2 octaves. And then right here, I just had to keep going in the pentatonic scale again, and then just change it to go up to B, drop down like that. And that's it.
All right, so before I go in and break down each of the components of the sample, I will show y'all a preview of the finished sample first. Alright, so for the part that Xave did, I ended up splitting it into 3 different parts. I opened up 3 different keyscapes, and they're all using the same rich ballad piano preset. So in the first one, I just have the chords, and in the second one, I have the bass notes, and in the final one, I have the top counter melody or whatever he improvised. I think I shifted all the MIDI up by 3 half steps. So the original key of the MIDI was C# minor, and I changed it to E minor. So the piano in the new key sounds something like this. Once I had my piano pattern situated, I opened up Omnisphere and got this PRS lead guitar preset. This pattern's a little bit intricate, but it's definitely nowhere as complex as the top notes on the piano. I was more or less doing this just to bring out more of that emotional feel that the piano brings. And I went in and adjusted each of the velocities of these notes manually. I just went in and just kind of adjusted it as needed. And then after I laid down the guitar pattern, I opened up another instance of Omnisphere and I got this Growler Moog bass preset. And using that, I put in my sub bass preset. It's pretty much just copying those same bass notes from the piano pattern, which is just the 1st, 5th, and 6th notes in the scale. So once I had those melodies put down, I put them into a mixer track and I added some effects. For the piano, I put on a low cut and cut out some of the mids. And for the guitar, I put on another low cut, but a little higher to cut out the picking noises. And I made a little bit of a cut in the high mids. And once I had all those, I mixed them and I armed each of the mixer tracks and then hit Alt-R on my keyboard and hit start to render the clips out. So once I had all my clips rendered out, I put them into the arrangement, and then I added my last component, which is the vocal chops. And the vocal chops are in a different key because once I put the pattern clips in, I pitched them all down by 100 cents. So the vocal chops and the final sample is in D# minor. So for my vocal chops, I opened up Arcade. I went to the Distant Voices line and got the Tale of the Oracle preset bank. Once I did that, I just put these 2 vocal chops both on the first beat of the 2nd and the 6th measures. And this is what it sounds like in context with the piano. Once I had the full rendered out loop, I imported it into a new project file. I kept the key at E minor and the tempo at 155 beats per minute, and then I just added my drums. Overall, I tried to keep the number of sounds fairly minimal because we already had a lot with the melodics, and all the drum sounds that I used were pretty standard sounding trap drum sounds. For my first drum sound, I put in a slap clap and put it on the third beat of every measure. For my next sound, I put in this hi-hat, and I originally put in this bass pattern right here where I just penciled in some notes and adjusted the velocities, and then I just copied that over for the full 8 measures, and then I just threw in a few rolls here and there, and I think those are using the 1/3 step snapping. And overall, I'd say it's a pretty basic pattern. The main thing that gives the pattern a lot of bounce, some of the notes that are missing, and the changes in velocities. After I put down my hi-hat pattern, I added an open hat, and I put this on the second beat on the 4th and 8th measures. After the open hat, I put in a snare. Usually trap snares hit on the and beats, so I put them in pretty typical spots, and I just threw a roll in at the end. And lastly, I put in this modified spins 808, and I put in my 808 pattern, and it pretty much just follows the bass notes or the bass line of the piano chords. So that's gonna do it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and were able to take something away from it. Let me know what you'd like to see me do next in the comments, and leave any feedback you may have. And that's gonna do it for this one. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah, this a hit right here, Xave.
Roll up, Tess.